city, baby. And us in Texas, you wanna try, baby. I know you can, I know your heart, and you will figure out you love me now, 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 now. Love you now, I gotta leave you. Love me now, 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 now.
Welcome along to tonight's race, guys. And it is Amigos. It is a very, very dark Kyalami. And the question is, who will Matthew Gamble take out first? But then again, we've added Chris Tedder to that list after last week. Votes are coming in there at the minute. There's about 5 minutes left in the chat. Who actually takes out, or who sets up the first crash? Is it Matty Gamble? Is it Chris Tedder? Or do they do teamwork? We won't know, but guys, I'm really looking forward to this. Kyalami is a great circuit, and it's great practice for these guys as well, because this Saturday, should I say, from 1:30, so about 1 p.m. possibly, I'll be going live as we are running the Kyalami race in 9.5 hours in conjunction with Raceface and Eleanor. So I'm really looking forward to that, and this is going to be quite an interesting one. Fair play to you, man. Fair play. Top 10 gun coming. Thanks very much, Liam. So, Liam, who do you reckon? Is it going to be Chris, or is it going to be Matty that takes out someone first? I know you'll give an honest answer. But yeah, so there's going to be a great race this Saturday in Kyalami. So for these guys tonight, and including Liam as well, this is phenomenal practice to get the eye in, and especially in the dark and wet conditions that it is out there present. Dave Campbell up there in the higher spot of things, he must be getting very dizzy up in those heights. I love to see the progression of Dave, and hopefully he does well this week. But yeah, he's out in a fresh set of tyres there. Let's go on to the... What did I say? I was saying basically, who's going to cause the first crash? Is it going to be Chris Tedder, or is it going to be Matty Gamble? It's one of them two. They seem to love setting off crashes at the start of races. 47s and quicker were dry times. Yeah, actually, look. I'm assuming Gamble, definitely. I'm assuming you meant 37s, because the guys are in the 43s and that, so I'm assuming you meant 37s with the dry. But yeah, it's going to be quite an interesting one tonight with the guys. And just for anyone who doesn't know, I just want to show the poster of that endurance there, guys. So that's it there, Kyalami. If you want to join in, give us a message. You still have time to enter a team, but that's it there. So the time though, that's 1500 hours. That's over in the mad South Africa. Over here, it's going to be going live from about 1 o'clock. So we're not a bit mad like them. So definitely get involved, and I'm really looking forward to commentating on it and seeing the guys from Amigos ERA representing and doing a phenomenal job, as I expect they all will do. And yeah, 9.5 hours of Kyalami is no easy feat, no matter who you are. But back to tonight, we are in Amigos. We've 18 cars in at the minute, and I'm assuming 1 or 2 more may join throughout this session. Now, let me see. It says we've 19 there. Who are we missing? Someone might have left the server and might come back. That might be what's happening there. Should pop up Massey there as we go. Yeah, so guys, last week, great race to start it off in Nuremberg. Chris Tedder and Gary, 2 best friends that anyone could have, ended up coming together, and Gary got 15 hours worth of damage, and ended up actually racing in the race. I think he's still starting the race from last week. Unfortunately, it was a very tough one for him, but he's coming back here. He's still the reigning champion, and I know well he's going to put in a great effort tonight. So looking forward to see what he can do. Chris the same as well. Tough race in the end, but great racing for us watching. Glenn Smith was someone that really impressed me last week with exactly what I expected out of consistency, and he got his car into a very good position as well. So I'm delighted for Glenn and seeing his progress. What's the crack, Mr. Fiesta? What up? Chris, it's a bit of fun out there. So, Chris, I don't know if you can see my poll. So far, you're winning. Get your votes in, Chris. We can never ban Mr. Vickers. Vickers is a double race winner now in ERA. Can't be banning people just as good as that. So Chris is definitely winning so far the award for crashing first and crashing into somebody. But guys, joking aside, I think it's time to look at the standings as they sit, as the guys are flying around there. We can't ban a genius in a race car like Mr. Vickers. He plays mind games with people, absolute mind games. Here we go. So Hamling has won the first race last week, and for the joys of winning has a 15-second succession penalty. So he is out in first place at the minute. Then Carlos Jurgels with Prison Mike has the joys and the absolute pleasure of a 10-second succession penalty, but also he is second in the championship. And Wee Matty Gamble is in third place in the championship on 23 points and has a 5-second succession penalty. So this is going to be very good fun. Thanks very much, Liam. I'll talk to you in a bit. And exactly as Vickers says, jeepers. So Matty there with the 5-second succession penalty. And these are a thing with Amigos. It's true, I think, to the British GT Championship, where if you win a race, there is a time penalty added for your next race. And it's a great mix here. And Gary Smith went through it last season to get himself up there. Mr. Franklin, how are you doing, my man? And we've got Ross Webster in 4th position, Antonio Asprey in 5th position, Jack Taylor in 6th, John Dudley in 7th, Neil Massey in 8th position, Smee in 9th, and the man right there, Mr. Franklin, in 10th place. Chris Tedder is in 11th. Alex Tedderashu, I can't say that name, I fuck it up anyway, is in 12th. Glenn, my boy, is in 13th position. Paul Ferrara, who is actually quite a good driver as well, I do like his Ferrari, in 14th. Dave Campbell, the OG Dave, I love the man to bits. He raced in a Formula 1 league with me back in Xbox back in the day when I started out running leagues. Love to see him in here. Andrew Gatton, another guy who I'm delighted to see in here as well. Then we have the guy, the reigning champion, the man who Tedder loved to take out of it, Gary Smith's in 17th, and on a reconnaissance mission tonight. Can't even say the word. Then we've Alex Norton 18th, Steve Tetley in 19th, Stacey Ellis is in 20th, Diego Garcia is in 21st, Philip Huff is in 21st as well, joined with Liam Smith. I think Liam, though, deserved to be up a lot further. He just had an unlucky race in the first one, and that's somebody I guarantee he's going to be a dark horse. I will tip for him to be in at least the top 12, the top 10 finish by the end of the season overall in championship minimum. So definitely one to look out for there as well. Gary, how are you doing? So I don't know, you probably missed out on it, but Chris Tedder has won the vote for to be the first person to cause a crash tonight. So please do your best to stay away from him, because you know yourself, he can get quite wild. We jump on with Davey there. Glennon's unfortunate to have dodgy brother, isn't he? Limo isn't that dodgy, man. I swear to God, Chris, if he had a clean race, genuinely, he actually has decent pace in him. I believe in the man, and eventually my belief in fate will come back to him. And Torpedo, Tedder, Gary, you couldn't have said it better yourself. I've seen the video on your YouTube, and anyone who wants to get some great content on the likes of a Assetto Corsa AMS2, jump on to GS. Is it GS Sim Racing? But you'll see it. It's in my intro video, it's in the outro, and it's obviously in the track guide video, which I'm about to show for Kyalami. So guys, actually without further ado, I'm going to do that now. So it's GS Sim Racing. Get onto YouTube, hit that follow button, and enjoy the content there, and you'll get to see Chris Tedder torpedo, can't even speak. You get to see Chris Tedder torpedo him in several different angles, and a nice in-depth breakdown of how much of a torpedo Tedder is, which is great. So How many drinks? Genuinely no, I feel like shit today. So my energy levels are at like a 2 maximum. Torpedo Tether is now his name. And here we go. I'm going to play this intro video, guys. I literally rushed to make this one because I was watching the Aston Martin release in bed, trying to get my energy back up. So let's go and look at this Torpedo Tether. Lovely video. Indeed, who will Tether or Matty take out next? And you may have noticed watching that there, in fairness, right? I definitely reused the video that I'm using for this Friday or this Saturday because, as I say, I'm a little bit under the weather, trying to get my energy back up for the rest of this week, and I'll have a break tomorrow. I'll be back on Wednesday. I'll have a Thursday race, and then I'm off Friday, and I'll prep then for the amazing race that we are going to be looking forward to on Saturday. And the intro video I've done there has a little bit more in it. Race starts, and no, I think it's about 1 PM in the daytime for myself, for the guys. Real-time gaming, how are you doing? Are you well? Hope you are happy out. But yeah, so it's going to be an interesting one tonight, guys. It's yeah, I'm just very excited to see what exactly these guys can do. And Machi Soda's playing a Assetto Corsa. There we go. Just noticed one thing that is actually missing from this stream. My image slideshow. And it's now huge. I need more than a hydrate. I need me bed. But it's called dedication to comms. No matter if I'm on my sick bed or not, I'm here. I'm just gonna make these other... I forgot to put all these fucking things up here, so I'll sort it now. Hey, look, that's no hassle at all. I'm just gonna make these logos small enough that I can put them in where they need to be, which is there. I always like to have the extra logos in. Ever prepared, I say. Limo, don't start me. You're lucky I'm even on comms tonight. I should do what Spitsam did and just give up halfway through stream. Just be like, fuck it. Back to bed I go. I wish. Oh, no. I'm going to jump on my Hamlin because he's looking quite strong. Bring back Woes. Exactly. Justice for Woes is right. Oh, man. I honestly, tonight I'd be glad if Woes was here. I swear. But, sure, look. But hopefully you missed that video as well then, because you'll see that I used some of the video for Kyalami this week. I was like, fuck it. Yeah. It's a shame Chris Vickers isn't racing here tonight, because I'm sure he pulled some crazy kind of pit stop out of the bag and come from like last and pit and come out in first or something, knowing him. But this man here, he definitely seems to have pace in this Lambo. But what I will say is this: how is he going to find having a 15-second succession penalty? And no one cares about Vickers. Liam, that is so mean. Vickers is the boy. He was showing the guys. Vickers is a dick? No, Vickers is a hero. So Taylor here actually looking quite decent as well. Still a little bit wet out there. Vickus Dickus. You're some man. Some man for one man, so you are. But yeah, the track is looking kind of spicy, I'm not going to lie. Jealous I'm not out there racing. We done a great race in ERA in the off season, and probably the greatest car known to man, the Jag. And it was actually a ball of fun. It was like, what, about 20 plus Jaguars on track. It was epic. Liam said it was the greatest car he's ever driven. But it's going to be a tricky one tonight with the guys. So looking at the times, it's all very, very spread out. Very, very spread out in time-wise. I'm wondering, will this be different coming to race? And speaking of times, guys, has anyone seen the stream from last night? 1.2 seconds covered from first place all the way down to 20th place. 1.2 seconds, that's how close the field was last night. And imagine being a guy called Chris Vickers to be able to win in such a close-knit field like that. And not just win once, but twice in a row now. God, if I was Liam, I'd feel very jealous. He cheated. Probably did. Used codes from the Sega Mega Drive. Yeah, this track is a very, very tricky track at the best of times. Never mind when it's actually pissing down rain. Me boy Glenn's in the pits. Heather's out there practicing taking people out of it. Filipov doing the day's job. Richard Christie is a guy I expected to start doing good things as well. Pressed Alt F4 8 times and you get unlimited grip. Wow. I'll try that the next time I'm racing. I'm assuming that McLaren should be decent enough here tonight, especially with the aero that it carries for the rain. It should be decent. She's no McLaren liveried Aston Martin though, Vickers, is she? I love the way they show the lights inside the car as well. The detail in this game is just brilliant. No other way of saying it. There probably is, but I ain't saying it. Mr. Massey as well. So weird seeing him in that Aston. We have Matty Gamble there as well. Matty Gamble has himself a 5-second successful penalty. Jeepers. Jeepers. The way he says it is hilarious. Mr. Campbell as well, still up there doing quite high. So like the track is not as busy as I would have expected, if I am absolutely honest. Like I'm surprised the likes of Gatton, Franklin, Dudley, Glenn, Liam even not out there, or Gary. Shockingly enough. Alright Glenn, actually just seen you saying hello there. Pikachu. I see he went for the N4 and the N2 and not the AMR. Who, Matty, is it? Yeah, Matty likes to play it safe. Don't ever do that again. What are you on about, Liam? I need to know what you're on about first. How would you say UWU? What? Lads, you're confusing the shit with me. I'm too dozy. Huh. Pikachu! Yeah. Don't pretend you don't love it, Liam. I'd say every time I say Pikachu, Liam literally... No, I actually don't know what UW... No, I honestly really don't know what UWU is. I really don't. Get it on OnlyFans. Every time I say Pikachu, Liam puts nipple clamps on. So practice is nearly over. I might start just doing the stream from qualifying because all I do is absolutely talk mule through practice. Nothing constructive happens here. We'll go on with Jeepers for a minute. Too expensive. He just uses clothes bags. Oh, you sent me a message in Discord, right? I'll open Discord up on me PC. Google. Oh shit. What am I going on to here? Oh, it's coming onto the stream. Thank God that wasn't that too bad. Right, I'm gonna play it in the thing.
Okay. Sorry, I don't talk in a uwu voice. I don't know what you expected me to do. No.
Okay, not a hope. There's not a hope I'd be able to do that at all. No, fuck that. Oh, I am tired. I might put a time for a bit before I have to go to work. No, Marcus, you're alright. I don't know what's happening here. Sorry, guys. Right. I can't do it. You can choose the best I can do. Tetley T is out there. Dick pic. I did that tonight in front of my daughter. I think she. Oh, lad, you're killing me. Absolutely killing me. So Tetley's doing a good thing. Sky's playing out on Meals to 2, guys, if anyone wants to know. The yellow flag for Tether, we may get used to seeing that because he's a madman for crashing lately. Taking out Gary. Gary doesn't even do that, and I'm sure there he goes, he takes him out. I'm just laughing over that ooh thing. Oh, he absolutely shit a brick when I opened that message. When Liam sends you something, it's always be aware. The jar of bathwater, do you know something, Liam? I actually drank it. I drank the bathwater, I was sniffing it. But what I'm after doing, right, after last night, I actually got myself a pair of used underwear from Chris Vickers, just to smell victory. Oh, this lad is, after having a few points getting into the car, was only on track though. Post-race balls. That's what Chris Tedder sells, jars of farts. I thought it was armpit hair that Tedder sells him. Oh, it's a pity Mr. Wall isn't here tonight. So who else is on the track? Oh, my boy Gary's out. He's waiting at T1. He probably is. Oh, Gary's gone back to the black car tonight. The man changes liveries so many times, it's hard to tell what he's going to be in. Oh, Chris, he's out with Baps out. Nice. I do love Chris's Baps. Gotta love Chris. Such a good dude. He really is. And he has amazing Baps. You can ask Liam. I just keep laughing over that weird video of that ooh thing. I want to be able to learn how to do that. Just my voice wouldn't have it. There's a sandwich bot. No way. Nice buns, big Baps. Love it. Chris, why aren't you racing tonight? Alex is off. Jorgel's gone for a good off there. President Mike is taking no shit off him tonight. I'd say that horse might be a bit of a handful in the rain, to be fair about it. As Jeepers Creepers here coming around. Right lads, I'll do a poll for who you want to have a hot lap with in qualifying. So let me see. I'm gonna go with Liam Smith out there, just to not give him any pressure. Liam Smith. Ross Webster. John Dudley. Nice guy. So John Dudley. I would say Chris Vickers only, he's not here. We'll go on with Jeepers as well, Campbell. Although you'd want to fall asleep being in that M4. We'll give Ferrara a go as well. Right, so I'll give you 5 minutes on this one. The poll is now started. This race is too loud for me in a school night. Ah, fair enough. Grand job, guys. So get your votes in, and that's whoever wins that we go on with for a hot lap. And I can see Liam is using every bit of his points so far. I'm just going to give Ferrara a vote. Just to give Ferrara something. So we Matty Gamble. Filipov's off now. Alex T or Tedorshu, whatever his name is. I do like his livery though. Jorgo going backwards. I love Jorgo's, man, he's deadly. His car though is the most impressive thing, having prison Mike on it. Here's the man that has a plan to take everyone out. Chris. The torpedo Tedder. In his wild and natural habitat. On the track waiting to pounce at his next victim. Torpedoer. Oh, I like it. Torpedoer. The absolute predator on that track. And speaking of predators, I see Stacey Ellis is on the track too. Well, when I say on the track, he's off the track. There he is. There's the predator. Down. Oh, Mr. Coonahan's in the pits there now as well. We'll jump on McCarry there. Nice segue. It just worked out well. What your kids more like. Makes me laugh. So 22 on the field tonight, and we're still missing a few like Harper and that as well, so you know, it's a healthy size grid, but there could be a few more on it now. Interesting. As the session is finishing, I think we need to play that sound for the guys again. Green light. Suck me, Mr. Green Light. Right, let's do the woo-woo thing again, just for Liam. I may open it up again. Are we ready?
Okay. Sorry, I don't talk in a woo-woo voice. I don't know what you expected me to do. No! I talk what?
Joe, I'm having it ready for one to carry him. Oh, there we go. I'll just have it ready. Right. So whenever Liam goes out, we'll jump on with him for when he goes onto a fast lap, guys. Just having that ready, that's all. So it's nice and bright here in Kyalami today. 30 degrees track temperature as well, so quite toasty, to be fair about it. Can you set up TTS yet? Come here, what the hell is TTS? All these small abbreviations here. You'd think that I'm very cool or something. I have no clue what you're talking about. I'm a fucking idiot. I thought this was the 9-hour Eleanor, but that's on Saturday. Obviously, you mad hurry. Text to speech. Oh no. How do I do that? And I will get that done. That'd be hilarious. I'll just have all your texts coming into it. Every time you comment, just have it played in the stream. No, that's Saturday that the big thing is. So, do you know what? And Liam won by a mile. It's some Twitch app add-on. I'll get that sorted, so. Oh yeah, no, I do have loads of stuff available. I just don't use half of it. But we'll go on with a lap with Liam now.
Sorry, I don't talk in a voice. I don't know what you expected me to do.
So, it turns out the hot lap wasn't so hot. We'll give him a second chance now in a few minutes. I think the Uwu maybe got him all flustered. That is so funny though. I actually never seen that clip. I heard like the weird TikTok song. I never knew where it came from, and that's hilarious. I'll be laughing on that for the next while. I'm easily amused. So we're on with Mr. Franklin here. And that lovely looking Iron Lynx livery. He's given it everything anyway so far. It's a lovely Mr. Duddles. On with Duddles. So Hamling puts in a stonker of a lap. Bit of sideways action there. From John to the big balls Dudley. So who else? There's one with Gary. See, they're all so close together here. And don't forget, it's only 15 minutes qualifying here in Amigos. So, not a lot of time for the guys. And Gary on it anyway. Mr. Tedder there. A 141.747 is it? 39.9 or uninstall. Exactly, Chris. I agree with you wholeheartedly. Gary goes up into third place. Mr. Duddle there is still doing a bit of drifting. He thinks he's in Fast and Furious 10, I think. But we'll come back to him. Absolutely, we'll come back to him. Where is my boy Liam? Right, is he on a lap? Okay, I think we're on a lap, so we'll just jump on with him. I'm not going to shut up for this one. Salim is doing amazing. He's turning the steering wheel of the car. He's changing gears. He's making the car go sideways. And it's making loud noises. And he's slowing down. And he's going fast again. And he's drifting and going fast again. He's doing a great job. And then he just scares the Honda a bit. Then he goes hard on the brakes. Then he's back on it there. And he's going whap, whap. Coming down the road. Doing brilliant. Presses the NOS. Dom Toretto gave him some NOS. And he's hard on the brakes now. And around he goes and he's flat to the mat. Driving it like he stole her. Oh, one's a bit wide. Still continues on. I know I'm going to shut up and we'll actually enjoy a lap with him. Good luck, Liam. We wait till he's on a fast lap. Hide your wife when Liam's around, absolutely. Hamling up back in pole position, Jurgles in second, Glenn in third, Webster in fourth, Tether down to fifth position, Dudley's in sixth. We'll stay with Massey here as he's coming down. Where can Massey go? Looks like he was flashing green, but not anymore. Oh, McGlenn. What can Glenn do here? I think he's the fastest out of the Smith brothers. Can Liam prove me wrong? I do love Glenn's livery, it's so nice. Hard on the brakes. It's all about now going as hard as you can up here and then about just dropping maybe one gear, kind of half throttling it till you know you're nearly all the way around to the apex and then floor for the whole way out. It's all about being patient here and not letting the front go too far, and he's done a great job there. Unfortunately not up much time at present though. He's actually gaining a bit now though. Gets a little bit sideways though. I think that's cost him maybe a chance of going faster this lap. But he's not dropped by much. It just takes one or two good corners as well, and he's up a few. Hopefully can get up a few tenths. And that's lovely done through there. He's doing his best coming down here. It's kind of flat out. And then it's kind of a weird braking point, this one here, the way this braking section, you kind of have to turn while you're braking, and then this corner here you can take this flat out. So it doesn't look like this time Glenn is going to improve, but he has the next lap to do so. I'm going to jump on with Mr. Campbell here. Campbell's up 4 tenths, 5 tenths. Dave Campbell is flying out there. The hard man Dave. Guns very, very wide out there. But comes out of it with a nice drive. He's lost 2 tenths so just from going very wide there. So Dave definitely has a lot more time in the bag. Maybe he pulled a sandbag back in and just wants to kind of hide his time a little bit compared to the competitors. I think what's not helping is that he has a car behind and it feels like you're racing sometimes trying to get a lap time in. Dave hits the brakes. Oh, the curb just chose him straight around, but he's kept it going. He has time to go for another one, which is good. So while that's happening, I'm on my Hamling here, who's already up 2 tenths already. This guy is flying in this very, very unofficial Lamborghini. It's such a good car, it's still under testing. I wondered, did he get Chris Vickers cheat codes for this? Starting to feel like he did. So he's lost a lot of time there. Massey's up a bit of time. Who else can I make lose a bit of time? Anytime I go on with someone, they're losing the time. Sure, why not? So Massey, what can he do here? How much time can he put out of this one? He's about 1.5 tenths up. It's actually not going to improve him as of yet, so he does need to find a bit more time. Force gear. Gets it very tight onto the throttle, nice and early, runs wide. He pulls a little bit of time, but I don't think it's enough to jump him up a position. Well, gets him that bit closer. Jumping on with Chris Tether here now, he's up 2 tenths. He's too fast for the camera there, it seems. Poor Chris, I'll have to get him loads of stick in the build up to this race. He's up about 3 tenths here, he's doing very well. Oh wow, this could be a pole lap if it keeps going. He doesn't have enough time to get on pole though. Up into third position. You can see how close it is there between everyone there as Taylor just stops there. Ferrara having a good job up in 12th position as well. Liam Smith is on an out lap, so we're going to jump on with Liam out for his hot lap here in that beautiful looking Audi. Reminds me of like the older DTM cars back in the day. So guys, let's enjoy an on board with Liam, and let's hope he gets the sticks on pole with this one. So coming down this main straight, guys, it's all about just keeping as much you can to the right. absolutely on it up until about the 100-meter section, and then you have to go hard on the brakes. Or maybe the 100, yeah, about the 125, yeah. Oh, he runs a bit wide there, but he comes back in, which is good. Now it's flat out through here, and then you kind of drop down into second gear and be easy on the throttle. And back on the throttle, flat out now, nicely done by Liam. Runs it nice and wide, using all of the track. And now all the way to the left to get the best entry point possible. And he keeps it into third gear because you want to stabilise the front end and go hard on the throttle now on the exit. Fourth gear, and then hard on the brakes at the 50 down to second gear to get the car turned in, and on the throttle again halfway through. Perfectly done, runs wide, which you can do in these cars. And now you just want to let off the throttle here, small bit of braking to scrub off speed. And now flat out he can go. Now it's going to be hard on the brakes into about first or second gear depending on the car to stabilise it for the exit. First gear for Liam, and now second gear on the exit, because otherwise that traction control would kill that car out of the corner. That's great driving by Liam so far. And now this is flat out, and you're going to see how awkward this braking point is up here, because you're going to be entering the corner as you're braking. He runs it nice and wide, takes a lot of the carbon, should be flat out on throttle. And now this corner here should be flat out, maybe a small lift. Small lift and on the throttle, that's perfectly done by Liam. That's going to be hard on the brakes now. First gear to get the front turned in, and maybe second gear on the exit for him. No, he runs first gear perfectly. So this is a good lap, I believe. Where does it put him now? And that gets him up there into 14th position. So it tasted of the lap by Liam there. This is more the Liam that we know and love. Great lap, and good to be on with him. And he jumps ahead of his brother, which is the main thing. He's the bragging rights to the brothers there at the minute. On with Guy there, who's up 0.6 of a second, guys. 0.6 of a second. But do you know what? Scrap that for a minute. Hamling here is up a half a second in this Audi. This is just crazy. And it's going to drop under half a second at the exit, but still, that's a huge time. He's now 3/10 clear of Gary, 3/10 clear of Tedder. Tedder's not going out again. Jurgles is improving slightly. He needs to improve more than slightly. He needs to really ring that car over, and he's lost a lot of time there. What can Richard Christie do? Yeah, no, you're dead right. There's no point going around the time. I'll have to say, Liam is doing very well there as well. He definitely was ready in his big boy pants. Oh, as Christie goes straight off. So Gary has a chance to try an attempt to get up there. I was finding a lot of time. Oh, he runs so wide there, and that's that gone. Oh, I don't think anyone's going to have an answer. As Ferrara goes around here now, trying to improve a little bit. And at the minute, he can jump Alex and possibly looking at Taylor and Franklin. It's probably too far out of reach for him, looking at the times, but he could try. He's losing a bit of time, but he can try and get it up. He just needs to get this corner right and get on the throttle perfectly. Oh, he put a bit too much into it there, but ends up not improving. Too much steering input. But guys, that is a lap and a half there, a 140.8 from Kyalami Hamling. However you say that. But that's unreal there. Jurgles is still out there, but not improving, unfortunately, for Jurgles. So they are on the grid. So this is the normal thing now, guys. We are going to just quickly run in and do the quick ads, and then we will be back.
So goodbye for us. You have to say it, baby. And us in Texas, you want to try, baby. I know you can, I know your heart, and you will figure out. You love me now, 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 love you now. I gotta leave you. Love me now, 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 now.
And again, I just literally want to show off here this Saturday from about 1 p.m. our time here. We are live for the 9.5 hour in Kyalami from Raceface and Logistical Nightmares, and I'm proudly doing the commentary for that there, and I'll be joined by Papa Goose as well as Limitless Marcus as well in that. And really looking forward to that. And myself and Paul Venture and Eleanor have hopefully something very exciting coming soon as well. We're working closely together on a little secret series coming your way. I will release more once we kind of have done a bit more, but it's nice to give the little output there. So guys, yeah, don't be afraid to join me, but also if you have a team, don't be afraid to get involved. So we're back here waiting for the guys to get out there. So let's see what happens here. Sorry guys, got a quick phone call there from some weird survey company. I wanted to give my bank details. I was hoping they were an African prince that were going to send me 12 million for a couple of grand, but wasn't the case sadly. Yeah, so guys, this is the starting grid. Hamling has a 15-second succession penalty.
30 seconds.
Jurgles has a 10-second succession penalty, and Matty Gamble has a 5-second succession penalty, so that is going to play a part here tonight. Let's not be fooled. As these guys now, you can see the cars dropping down, getting out and starting up those engines to get going. Chris Vickers, who do you reckon's going to win? Anyone watching, let me know who you think's going to win. Pit rules, mandatory fuel only. Mandatory fuel. So you reckon Gary Smith's going to win? Looking at the pace of Hamling, if Smith doesn't get took out by Tether, I just said I'd throw that in there. I think Smith and Tether need to work together tonight. Like, as we do know, Hamling does have that succession penalty, but if Gary and Tether get into fighting, Hamling has a lot more pace in him, it seems, over one lap. And we've seen how last week he was able to keep the car going the whole way through, so this is going to be quite interesting. Should be any second now. There we go. But the cars are going away. So Hamling's got a great start. Tether and Gary. Tether's getting the drive though. Oh, Hamling and Gary getting caught up in it as well. Gary's going to go for it around the outside. Look at this. Hamling though will have the better drive on it. Gary's run very, very wide. Comes back on. Jurgles and Tether right there. So Tether has kept Jurgles at bay. But so far, it looks like everybody has made it through. Yes, it looks like everyone has made it through. Great stuff from everybody. We're on with Paul Fryer there. Webster gets Boy as well as Jurgles goes down, and Dudley and Jurgles added as well, and Christie looking to get by Jurgles. Matty Campbell's also there as well. At the minute, this is very, very close the whole way through. Neil Massey, you can see Gamble and Christie there as well. Behind Massey, then you have Franklin, you have then Coonahan, Tardisho. Christie's on the grass. Dudley has the inside line now, and Matty Campbell's going to try and be snaky turkey and go for it around the outside now around Christie here. But Christie has a cover, but now look at this. You have Coonahan, you have them Massey at each other as well, as it looks like we've just lost. Oh, Gary, what's happened, Gary? Let's go back 30 seconds, see what happened here. So Gary driving along, no problem at all. Was it the curb that killed him? So he's driving grand, runs quite wide. Oh, those drops it, and that's big damage as well. Oh, Gary. 2 weeks in a row, he's had a mare of an opening lap. Oh, not what you want at all there. And now Campbell is, oh my god, there's Campbell's after going off. We'll go back into a quick replay here to see what happened there. So ahead, everyone looks like they're through. Was it the curb? Oh, the curb, and then that was, it looks like Coonahan off up ahead as well. Okay, so it's been hectic at the start here, guys. Absolutely hectic. Right, let's try and get into the racing. We're on with Jurgles now in 4th position. On with Richard now as well. Matty Gamble's got up into 6th position. As the server's going mad by the looks of it. Whoa. My next is Gamble's Potato Internet causing some lag crashes. Well, we're getting some weird lag in the game at the minute, which is quite unusual. So, as you see, the game is lagging for no reason. Oh no, Liam Smith is now a casualty as well, but has got back going. I can't be looking only in replays, we have to be looking forward, but Liam is fighting there with Tetley by the looks of it there, and Tetley's not going to give up that position quite easy. As it's starting to progress into dark fairly quick, guys. And Gary is fighting with Stacey Ellis there. And he has got by Stacey Ellis there quite comfortably. And Franklin here, look at this. Franklin out of position with Gatton. Oh, and it looked like they touched a little bit there, and Franklin just had to get out of that one for the sake of surviving. Wowzers. Up further then, you've got Taylor with Ferreira. Gamble and Christie are just after swapping places as well. Gamble's back up the inside though. Christie was trying to move around the outside. Now Christie has to run on Gamble. Gamble goes for the inside line. He's letting Christie go around the outside line, no problem at all. So far Gamble is staying ahead. Christie though, super close with him. And Gamble is through. Christie is still there. The game for some reason getting very glitchy looking. The race starts just after blowing its mind, I think. Yes, I do. Right. Mr. Real Time Gaming. So if you go into the Horsebox comms chat, I'm now in the general chat. So Real Time Gaming in the Horsebox commentary chat. If you jump in there, you'll see the voice channel with general. In that Discord, let me know when you're in, we'll get you in. While this is going on there, Gatton, oh, just as we go on, Gatton's dropped it. Franklin as well. Oh, let's go back 15 seconds. So Gatton and Franklin going fine. Oh, then the glitch, both of them just hit each other. That is tough going. That is absolutely tough going. So Real Time Gaming, as he's only getting going now, that's tough. Jumping on with Ross Webster now, who's fighting with Chris Tedder. No, you don't need to have ACC. I can share it in the chat. So if we jump on into the Discord and then you see the general chat, there's not that many channels in there. I can get you in there and I can share the game live with you. Absolutely no problem there. Yeah, you're in. I'll just share the game screen now. How are you doing?
Very, very interesting race.
Oh, it's been crazy. So for your voice, that was very, very low. Let me see, can I fix that?
Better?
Huh?
Is that better?
That's a lot better there now. Welcome along, mate.
Alrighty. Thank you for having me.
No, I'd absolutely delighted to have you in. So we're on here now with Ross Webster, who is 0.2 of a second off Tedder. Jurgles is 0.6 behind. Who are you putting your money on for this one?
Honestly, I love myself a good Chris Tedder race. Learned a lot from him. He's a very fast driver.
Ah, Tedder's a hero. I'm going to say Jurgles is going to be a little hound here, though. I'm loving the prison white car, and he seems to be always up there as well.
Of course, from what I've seen, both these guys are very, very fast on this track. It's a very fast track. I know the Aston has a little bit of space to stretch his legs across that front stretch, but then again, those low-speed turns, that sector 1, sector 2, gets quite an advantage.
Oh, 100% there, 100%. We're on with Franklin here now. And he is unfortunately at the back after that little touch with Gatton, who he's back racing with now. And we're on with Filipov next. I'm just kind of going through all the gas. Filipov is a little bit off. Where's Liam Smith? So Liam's back in 17th and does have progression to grow, hopefully. Let me see now. So we're on with Massey now. I don't know why that set of course the game seems to be just freezing for a second and coming back, which is quite weird. I mean,
Seems to be a
Gamelin.
pretty close battle between Glenn Smith, Guy Cunningham, and Alex.
Oh yeah.
Further down the field, very close, all within 1 second, I believe.
Absolutely, and Gamble and Taylor are already in the pits as well, which makes things quite interesting. So it could be
Almost
interesting.
makes you wonder if they picked up damage on that first couple of laps or not, or if they're just trying to early pit, run
Let's
those tires
see
longer.
early pit, but look at that. That was an optimistical overtake there from Coonahan on Glenn, and he gets the job done.
Very
Absolutely
neat.
sent it, yeah. Quite impressive. Quite impressive. Look at here now. So the game itself keeps freezing, which is quite unusual to see. I've not had a frame drop in the stream. It's very weird looking. As Webster's after spinning. Webster is after losing it, so let's go back 15 seconds. He was up there. Oh, it was the back mark or
there's
Gary.
contact.
He didn't. I thought he thought that maybe Gary was letting him through, and in fact Gary was just taking the racing line.
Yeah, very.
That was
Where is
very
that? Is
tough.
that coming through sector 2, or is that beginning of sector 1?
That was coming through. That was mid sector 2.
Oh yeah, that downhill left right, very very dangerous spot to try to get position back.
Absolutely. Why is the game being so weird and jumpy? As the camera's trying to catch up now. So Hamling has gone into pits already, and Hamling is serving a succession penalty of 15 seconds. Matty Gamble served his succession penalty there of 5 seconds as well. So at least that's done and out of the way. So you also then have Jurgles in the pits as well, who's doing a 10-second succession penalty. You've Webster and Christie. You've Coonahan and Tirdisho. Well, I think that's because the rain is coming. The rain is down hard, so it's actually more tactical why they're doing this.
Yeah, I mean, possibly getting that early pit, they may, like you said, they may see that rain coming and wanting to get that early in so they wouldn't have to run a lap on those slicks, because I know this track can be very, very treacherous if it's wet and you do not have wet tires. There's so many high-speed corners that you need those wet tires.
Oh, 100%. And Vickers, no, the game is actually in proper focus as I do every game, but tonight, in the race conditions, it just seems to be quite skippy. You know, it's not... Luckily, it's not my fucking stream, it's actually the game, so I have no control over why it's skipping. But this happened once before, and I didn't know the reason for it. I think it was down to the server itself.
Oh, and we're already getting some good flashing of the lights, trying to distract the competitors.
Oh, Liam Smith and Chris Tedder just came together as well. Let's go back and have a look at that one again. So Chris is behind Liam. Liam has Christie ahead of him. So on the exit then, Liam loses it.
Coming down the hill, just loses it, yeah.
Poor Tedder done nothing wrong there. Tedder and Gary just can't get brakes. It's crazy. Ferrara's up in fourth position. I wanted the Ferrari start on the wet tyres. Tedder runs very wide. This is the joys of this game.
Very interesting. Yeah, you can already see the track is already getting very, very slick.
Yeah. I wondered if Ferrari just go for those wet tyres. Everyone else in the pits, Dudley's in the pits, Massey's in the pits, Tedder's in the pits. Ferrara is the only one staying out. Glenn's jumped into the pits, Hamlin's jumped into the pits. Guys, while they're doing the pits, what I'm going to do for the crack really quick, I'm just going to throw on an ad. And I'm going to just go out with this game and log back into it just to see does that fix the weird server issues that they're having. Bear with me 1 second as we do that. I'm just logging.
So goodbye for us. You have to say it, baby. And us in Texaco's. You want to try, baby. I know you can, I know your heart, and you will figure out you love me now, 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 love you now. I gotta leave you, love me now, 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 now,
Right, we're back. I'm after resetting this up a bit, so let's hope. Probably not going to hope for the Maybest in the world, but let's hope that this works. We'll reconnect that up, and we are back. Go blank. So Hamling is back up in third position after this, but he is about 5 seconds clear. The game is still very jumpy, so it's actually the server that the guys are in for spectating on. We are just having a jumpy stream. It is what it is. That's out of my control. But so Hamling is 5 seconds off Dudley, who's 30 seconds off Ferreira. So Ferreira's only getting into the pits now. That's probably going to hurt him more, staying out there much longer on those dry tyres.
Very much so. I mean, even just on that view that we had at the start with Hamling, you can see there's so much spray coming off that track.
Yeah.
It got so wet so quickly. I barely saw any in the previous lap, but now it's just coming so hard.
Yeah. That's unreal. So now let's see what Dudley can do, because Dudley's being caught by Hamling already. Hamling's absolutely flying it out there. Wow. As it looks like Filipov has got the move done on Glenn. Aston Martin versus Aston Martin. And now Glenn is in 11th spot.
Very well done as well. It's one of the best braking zones that you can do, and you come down the hill.
Yeah.
I would say if it was against a different car, that Aston Martin would have had a really, really good shot to pull away in that downhill. They've got that top speed, may not have the acceleration, but with that extra help from gravity, I mean.
Well, so what we're going to see here now is drivers who are good in the wet versus drivers who are a bit more tentative and just want to get the car home. Because you can see there that Mr. Filipov is trying to use every bit of that track, while the likes of Glenn and that are keeping it on the black stuff and not running it wide. So you can see who's comfortable really pushing it in these wet conditions.
Yeah, you definitely have to be careful on those sausage curbs, especially the bigger ones. You don't want to grab too much, send the car sideways.
No, not at all. Not at all. But
especially in sections like that where you have a chance to run wide, run further out to get that speed continue through the corner.
Yeah.
That wet tar. If you touch that wet painted concrete on the outside, that's just going to send you around. So you got to be really, really careful.
Yeah. It looks like Liam has left, unfortunately. So Liam has given up on this race tonight, which is
Unfortunate to see that.
yeah, it is unfortunate because Liam is a dude I really want to be doing well. His brother here still. So Dudley is keeping it in around the 4-second mark. Then Christie in third place is about 4.3 seconds off. Matty Gamble though is not too far off that third place of Christie now. So Matty Gamble, I would be definitely interested to see how far he gets up. And Ross Webster as well. Last season won 2 races. So Ross Webster is definitely used to winning races as well. So it'll be interesting to see. I don't know why the game is as jumpy as it is. But sure, look, it is what it is. We can't fix the server, unfortunately. And Franklin here back up to 15th.
Very, very good. About to have a fight with Stacey Ellis. Not in the car that I'm used to seeing him in Split 3 running his Macca.
Yeah.
Here now. Definitely knows how to make a car very wide. It will be very interesting to see if Franklin can get past him, or how easily Stacey will battle this. Ferrari very good on the accelerator.
Franklin, like, you know, Franklin's a split run driver, so it wouldn't be, you know, when you're looking at it in terms of pace. Stacey knows what his race is here, and Stacey will do his utmost just to get the points home, and that's the main thing for Stacey. So back on now, Ross Webster's getting very, very close to Gamble. I can see this one starting to develop into a nice ding-dong.
Very, very close. And if I believe... Never mind, I do not think that is Christine right in front of them. Whose McLaren is that? Is that Stacey's McLaren?
No, that's Christie.
Oh, that is Christie.
Yeah.
Okay. Just looking at the timing, I couldn't tell if that was him or not.
Stacey is the kind of dude that can be in 2 places at once, though.
Oh, always. He's just always there.
I love it.
Very, very fun guy to race against. I had a great opportunity to run the 6 hours spot with him.
Nice
Very
one.
fun man.
Oh no, we're losing Jurgles from this race as well. Jurgles is now out as well, which is quite unusual for Jurgles. Man, this game is so choppy. We may get Chris to get the hamsters making the server a bit more stable.
Make him run a little bit faster.
Yeah.
A few more pellets.
Did you get to watch the Aston Martin unveiling of their new F1 car for this season?
I did not get to watch it. I'll have to go and watch it.
Actually, it's a nice looking car. You can see differences in the car. Do you reckon it's 95% new? Which is quite interesting to see. You know, it looks very well. Let's see how they get on. And the new McLaren as well looked quite nice. I am a McLaren fan, so it hurts me not knowing when they're going to get a championship next.
Of course. I don't know, with how fast Lando's been driving, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see one soon.
Yeah, I think it's a matter of them getting the car right first. And they need Oscar Piastri, obviously, to find his feet and be a good supporting actor, possibly even better, because Piastri has been so strong in all previous categories, in fairness. Champion in F2 and everything else as well, so he's definitely hot property. He just needs to now show that he was worth that 20 million payoff for Ricardo. As we're on here, Webster.
Like
yep.
Glenn Smith and Philip are having fairly close. I saw that time dip underneath a second right there.
Yeah, they're sitting in and around.
The Aston Martin.
They're sitting in and around there at the minute. But Gamble and Webster, this battle here is the closest on track by a bit, so this is where we'll stay and see how they get on, because Richard Christie is doing everything in his power to keep these guys behind.
So you'd almost think that he's trying to pull away a little bit, got a little bit of a gap compared to Gamble and Webster, but then again, the power delivery on these cars is so different. You know, having a mid-engine and going to a front engine, power delivery, DC, there's so many different factors that go into how well that they can drive, but then again, they're all hitting their limits and being so close. Staying so close lap after lap.
You can see Christie's taking a much more defensive line than Matty as well. Christie's being very defensive on the line that he's taken. But Matty Gamble here could be overtook by Ross Webster. And he is. Ross Webster, great driving there. I'm sure Matty's going to try and fight back. He is, but in a drag race, I think that Aston Martin has the legs on him. Which he seems to do. He does.
Oh, absolutely. Even in the wet, that Aston, once you get it going, it just takes off, and it'll just leave you. And I would say in the dust, but in this chance, it's the spray.
Yeah, Matty was saying that the BMW in the last spot seems to have gotten a bit slower. So
yeah,
it seems.
I have tended to notice that.
Yeah, it seems that it has actually lost a bit of potential, unfortunately, there. Jumping on with Tether here now, who is fighting with Ferrara. And guys, I apologise about the server going slow. You can see at the bottom, standards thing is running nice and smooth. It's not jumping like the game is jumping. So, unfortunately, it is the server. I do apologise on behalf of SGP, because they are the ones looking after the servers, on it being such a dodge jumpy one tonight. But Chris Tether here trying to fight with Ferrara, 2.6 seconds clear of Taylor. Like, it's getting quite spread out already, which I'm very surprised at.
Yeah, Chris Cheddar and Paul Ferrara will definitely have to make sure that they're not fighting too much, not giving Jack Taylor that leg up to come and catch him and maybe overtake both of them.
Yeah.
Because that 2.5 seconds around this track can disappear very, very quickly.
100%. 100%. Oh, as they jump
Chris
there.
Cheddar. Oh, very, very wide. Ferrara going off. Just giving Chris Cheddar that move.
And Tether gets by. Look at this Ross Webster though. Is getting quite close to Mr. Christie now. And has pulled away from Gamble. Matty Gamble must have made a bit of an error when we weren't looking.
Falling back nearly 3 seconds now, and it may just be that difference in power delivery and that top end speed. That, I mean, like Gamble was saying, that BOP on the BMW, it's lost quite a bit of its top end, so it can't quite keep up with that Aston on the straights without a toe.
I'd be surprised though if there wasn't an issue with Matty there, because in fairness, as much as I would say the bot would be a part of it, to be losing 2.5 seconds so quickly, I'd be very, very shocked at. And now Christie's coming up to a back marker here, which is going to play lovely for Webster. So now Webster's coming right on the back of him now, and Webster's going up the inside of the back marker and is right there now with him after pulling in about 3/10. 4/10 you could say. He's only 0.2 of a second off, and that McLaren is not as fast in a straight line as well. The Aston is going to be going for a move here, I reckon, under the braking, or he looks a little bit too far off. He was definitely thinking.
Had the look there.
Oh, he was definitely thinking.
Great job by that Porsche to get out of the way. Up at the top of the hill, very crucial braking zone. Although we might see the pass coming down into turn 1, very, very close coming into the final corner, less than half a second. Just tucked right up behind the rear end of that McLaren.
Do you know what?
He stay right behind as long as he can, pull out just at the last moment.
Absolutely, he got such a great drive out of that there. Now he's going to go on the outside. I think he has the guns here now. I think this is going to be it.
Have it.
Yeah. And Christie's not a silly driver. Christie will try to switch back, but I don't think it's going to work here. Yeah, no, that's a great bit of driving there from both drivers.
Absolutely. Just unfortunately the switchback doesn't quite work going down into turn 1, as that next corner it comes back right. So just gave that racing line right over to Ross Webster.
Yeah. It's always worth a switchback, because sometimes if you get the traction just right and the guys get it maybe a little bit wrong, get a bit of understeer, you can really make it work. And because you can attack that turn 2 into turn 3 because you have the inside line straight away then, and you can run the driver wide into turn 4 then.
Absolutely.
But still,
just sticking right back on there, trying to run through sector 2. They've got to be careful fighting so much, giving Gamble a chance to catch back up with them now under 2 seconds back. Yeah,
no, Gamble will be getting definitely quite happy looking at that. Looking everywhere else though, it's kind of spread out. I think this is kind of where we're at the minute. It's very spread out here.
Absolutely. Dudley and Hamlin have just pulled away. These 3 sitting here battling, just giving them a chance to run away.
Yeah. But do you know what? This is what it's about in wet racing. But I tell you one thing, Dudley still doing a great job, as you were saying, because he's still, what, 2.5 seconds clear of Gambling. And Gambling was probably one of the fastest, if not the absolute fastest all round so far this evening. He got it on pole. He has the fastest lap, because obviously they're not going to beat that lap unless it dries again at 1:42.20. He flew, and to be able to get that 15-second succession penalty and still be only 2.5 seconds off the lead is absolutely phenomenal. And we're not even halfway through this race yet.
Yeah, it makes me wonder how much those lap times, how quickly that Hamlin is going to be able to catch back up. You know, running 0.2 a lap faster, that can add up really quickly, especially once he gets under roughly that 1 second range and starts getting the tow. Those two, I believe it's Lamborghinis that they're both running, very, very evenly matched. So that tow will give him such an advantage to catch up.
Definitely. Look at Dave is getting very, very close now. David Campbell and Glenn Smith going to have a little battle by the looks of it, and Filipov and North ahead as well. So we've gone from the top into the midfield here, and the midfield are not at all disappointing when we thought the gaps were spreading out. Here we have 2 little battles developing, and only 2.5 seconds off each other as well. So what can Dave do? Sorry?
You're just going to be interesting to see what strategies Dave's going to implement to try to close that gap down a little bit, as Filipov very, very close, just barely over half a second behind Alex North. Very, very close battles now here in the midfield.
Both less than a second, but you can kind of see the difference with the Aston Martin and the BMW. When it comes to the straights, the Aston pulls away, and Glenn is starting to pull away again. And with Filipov is dropping off from North as well. As I say that, he comes back in a little bit. So it really is corner to corner, depending on how they exit and enter the corners.
Absolutely, and it's like I said earlier, those middle sections, the Aston tends to struggle a little bit. Those slower speed corners, getting to that power, the Aston struggles just a little bit. But as soon as they can go full tilt, full throttle, they're just coming in hard. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, for me, I think the Macca should be quite decent the whole way through this track, because it's got great aero and it's phenomenal through kind of mid-speed corners as well.
Absolutely. It being a mid-engine car, that delivery is obviously a little bit more towards the rear. The weight's setting it down.
And truth be
Definitely
told,
get on those.
if someone was driving a Jag, they'd be winning by about 15 minutes by now, I reckon.
Oh, they'd already crossed the finish line, taking the
Yeah,
checkered flag.
100%. Them Jags, we would have done about 50 laps.
Oh, absolutely.
Have you drove the Jag?
I have not. You're gonna have to teach me a little bit about the Jag sometime.
I don't know, should you be allowed in my stream if you've never drove the Jag? I don't know how I feel about this. Don't know how
You
I
gotta cut me
feel.
some slack. I'm still new to Era. You can cut me a little bit of slack.
True. I let you away with it. But we had a great race here. I don't know if you heard it in the stream. In the off season, we had about 24, I think it was, Jags on Kyalami. It was such a laugh. Oh, it was so much fun.
Matthew Gamble just underneath a second to Richards Christine. Very, very close. Closing in.
And Torriello and Ellis. You've got Glenn and Filipov now. So Glenn's after dropping away or pulling away from Dave Campbell, and it's all over the back of Filipov. Oh, Campbell and Christie. Oh, let's go back and have a look at that there. So Campbell was flying up. Oh, Christie just got a terrible exit. And Gamble up the inside.
Might have gotten loose coming up over that corner if he grabbed too much of that outside curb on the exit.
And they're still fighting here. Matty Gamble has the job done. And now Christie has to look behind her because Massey is right there as well. And Neil Massey is not a slow driver. Neil Massey has changed from the Honda NSX this season to the Aston Martin. And Neil Massey, I'm telling you here now, is one of the faster guys. He's so good. And he's side by side with Christie here. And he has the job done on Christie. Whoa, great driving.
Very close battle back with Alice and Alex. Half a second. I saw it drop down to 1/10 of a second. Must have been side by side. So many close battles throughout this entire field now.
I will jump on with the Alex when it seems to be the one developing, as Massey has got by Christie. So Alex on Stacey, both in the same machinery. Alex, though, definitely you can tell is the faster of these two. Even the exit alone has pulled 3/10 in, but Stacey's placing his car where he needs to.
Absolutely. Honestly, I feel like Stacey's the best person at making a car as wide as possible. Even in this shot, it may look like the McLaren takes up not even half the track, but it sure as heck feels like it.
Let's see. So the only thing is, Alex might have better on the brakes. He might be later on the brakes. Stacey, though, cutting across massively. That's... Yeah.
Yeah, quite dangerous move, especially since I believe that's the leader right behind
them. That was extremely aggressive. Extremely aggressive there. There was no room given there to Alex, so I do feel for Alex there. I think, yeah, the leader's got by unscathed. And now second place there, you have Mr. Hamlin trying to get through. So in fairness there, Dudley has been held up a little bit. He's now down to 1.3 seconds, but now Hamlin now has gone through, yeah, not by much though. So he's now 1.5 seconds off. Okay, so that's developing.
Wouldn't be surprised if we see Alex come through at the top of the hill. Definitely a lot more confident under braking, but then again, Stacey is known, as we saw down in turn 1, he very well is known to squeeze.
Yeah, they're squeezing and being too aggressive, and I think that was one of those times where he might feel like he was in the right there, but he was leaving no room. You have to leave a car's width when there's someone beside you, and there was 0 cars width there. That was there was no right to taking the full apex there with a car beside you. So I would argue that one slightly if that was me.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I'm on now with Glenn and Campbell getting very, very close to Filipov here. There's less than about 1.5 seconds between the 3 of these cars. Very unusual that the game ran grand through practice and qualifying, and for the race has just decided to
very wide there.
Be very jumpy.
It almost looks like the track's dried out quite a bit, or it's stopped raining.
Oh, it stopped raining and it's actually looking very, very dry now. But I would assume
Alright.
soon enough.
Yeah, I'd be slightly concerned if I was driving in this race. Wouldn't want my tires overheating. Half waiting to see if drivers will start pulling to the side, trying to cool off their tires, getting that little bit of the wet line.
Well, it depends if they rained, if they don't think it's going to come back though. Because you can kind of let it dry up a little bit and see. So let's go on to the bonnet. To me, that looks extremely dry.
That looks very dry. It's still slightly wet on the curbs, but that track, I can't even see a difference between the dry line and the wet line.
No, there's no difference there now. And what you're going to see now is the car sliding a little bit just from overheating. More than anything else. I don't think it's not because they're overdriving it. The more these tires heat up, obviously the less grip, as you're very well aware.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Hamlin though is getting very close, as well as Glenn and Filipov and Campbell. But I might have to jump back on to the race lead if I see that dropping under half a second. They're keeping it kind of in around the 0.6.7, so we're staying on with Glenn. Dave Campbell's right there as well. And now Jay Taylor and Ferreira are starting to get into it. So no matter where we're looking now. So Gary has gone into the pits, by the way. Gary's in the pits as well as Gatton. So now we're on with Hamlin here with the race leader, Dudley. And Dudley's no stranger to winning as well.
Very, very close. You can see them running. I don't know if he's trying to take a more defensive line, break that arrow, or if they're both trying to hit that dry line, cool down the tires a little bit, come through these higher speed sections where you can't really get off that dry line.
Oh,
that racing line.
They'll be looking all day long for the wetter track now to keep the temps down, but I don't think there's enough of a wet patch anymore. And I think it's, you can see it's wettish on the off line there, but not by much.
Yeah, and even on those short shoots, even though it may be very, very tempting to get off and try to get that little bit of wet, this close of a battle, you don't want to create a space to where that car behind you can get that better drive off and get past you, even though you may be cooling your tires to get better grip. They can just drive away from you.
Yeah. And if I remember right as well, I think Hamlin is driving the retro version of the Lambo as well. If I remember right.
Honestly, from what I can see, I could not say.
It doesn't look like it's retro, though it has the light on the front of it. I thought he was the retro, maybe I'm wrong with that. I'm sure someone watching can let me know.
Absolutely, but that may just be the difference of turning on the rain light compared to...
Oh, 100%.
And to Dudley, who just went way off. That was very wide.
But now will Dudley jump into the pits? No. Do you know what? I actually reckon Chris Vickers is right. The woo-woo clip that Liam sent me was really a virus. Ever since the game has been jumpy. It makes a lot of sense now. Unfortunately for him, there's not much on my PC. Go jump on with Taylor and Ferreira there if the camera gets them, because they're only 0.2 of a second off.
Yeah, there's so many battles.
Tradiso has gone off. Where is he though? Okay, he's off the track completely there. But he's back going.
So many people so close to each other. 0.3 of a second.
Oh, Matty Gamble's after having a bit of a moment there, is he? He's after losing to Christie and to Massey. He must have went off the track and come back on. Taylor's now in the pits. Now look at that Dudley there as well, half a second off. He's not really dropped too much off Hamlin. I think what he needs to do is do the opposite of Hamlin this lap, whether it's the pit or not, because a lot of people are starting to jump in the pits. Looks like Glenn's now in the pits as well, and Taylor. So although the rain, the wiper's still on Mr. Taylor's car, doesn't seem to be on anyone else's car though. So I wonder why his wiper's flat out. Maybe he just didn't turn it off.
Yeah, he may have been like me, and just once you turn it on, you set it, and then phase it out of your view. Don't even think about turning it off.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I can't see what the weather predictions are But yeah, if these guys are thinking, you know, it's going to remain dry for the last 25 minutes of this race, it would be a very, very smart choice to go in and pit.
Yeah.
You almost have to.
Yeah. You would be a lot quicker. And look at this Franklin now all the way up at the Dave Campbell. What can Dave do with Franklin here? Dudley's now nearly 2 seconds off, by the way, Hamlin. That's huge.
Hamlin running very, very wide.
Alex North's
previous
going
corner.
off. So Hamlin here, he's going up against Gary Smith now. Gary Smith should have dry tyres and fresh dry tyres on now. So it'll be interesting to see. Well, he's definitely pulling up to him. It's interesting to see can he get by him. So Franklin and North both down positions there. Whereas, there we go. So Campbell is after running a mass. Oh, it looked like he ran very wide there. The dark got me off guard altogether. Go on, Dave. They're coming down to the last corner now. Oh, as that was in the background there, it looked like North going very wide.
Yes,
Franklin,
very, very
though,
wide.
absolutely on a Ferrara's in the pits now as well. So mad to see. There's been a few people have done their second stop. Is anyone else going to change? Tetley's also in the pits. Jumping on with Franklin and Campbell here. This battle's developing.
Whoa, 3 wide. Very, very close.
Very
Good job
brave.
on all those drivers for not making contact. Although it looks
Absolutely.
like some bumps coming out from Franklin. Just reminding Campbell, hey, I'm here. You're not going to be able to get away from this.
Yeah. But Dave's a seasoned racer and he's a very fair racer. He doesn't do silly moves in defending. Like if it is a case of cars side by side, he will give that room.
Absolutely. Almost looked like Franklin was looking for a little bit of space, maybe take a dive down the inside.
Oh, he was
but
definitely looking for that
decided
dive,
to-
wasn't he?
Decided to think better of it and give Mr. Campbell just a little bit of space, try to catch him in the braking zone up the hill.
He's pushing. I think
Right,
this is going to be his
definitely
move.
Trying to go around the outside, might try the switchback. No, just going to go deeper into the brakes. Try to get the run coming
Oh,
down the hill.
what a
He will
move.
have the run. Great move there.
That's a stonker of a move there.
Very, very good placement from Mr.
Now-
Franklin.
Alex now has a job ahead of him again. He's
Absolutely
up.
trying to.
He's about half a second off Stacey now. Showing a dummy. If I was him, I'd be doing the flashing lights move and everything. Oh, he runs himself a bit wide. He's obviously driving the nuts out of that car.
Absolutely almost makes me wonder if he hasn't quite yet stopped for those dry tires and still on those wet tires starting to overheat slightly.
Liam, what happened to you, mate? Because I see in the message there, the moment some people hang up their wheel, the better. If you want to elaborate or do you want to say it even in a PM?
Very, very close. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a move out of Alex either coming into this next braking zone or down into turn 1.
I don't know.
He's definitely looking beating Ellis on those brakes.
Oh yeah. But then you have someone who parks the car literally right on the inside as well. He's playing it safer this time. He doesn't want to be rammed off the road again. Although this time here he's got the job. He's got it done. Stacey's going to try come back at him. But it looks like Alex has stayed ahead of that drag race. And Alex making sure to show Stacey who's boss there. Oh, Stacey's after hitting into Gary.
Stacey.
Oh,
Not quite having
wow.
that spatial awareness to realize that there was a third car there with them.
That was Gary hit, wasn't it?
I do believe so, yes.
Wow. And Stacey's ahead of Alex again, but
Very, very sketchy.
Ferrara's after slowing down. What's happened with Ferrara? Is there
Check
some...
the 30-second replay. Either side.
No, he's back going. No, he's back going. I don't know what story was there. Well, I'm going to go back to this here because Dudley is only 0.2 of a second off Hamling now. And this is now what's going to be getting quite interesting. So Hamling now, his tyres are probably crying now because he's probably on the wet still. And Dudley probably driving a little bit easier. It's going to be interesting to see what they're going to do here. This is the closest Dudley has been in quite a while.
Yeah, if I do remember right, both of them are still on those wet tires. So
Yeah.
very, very hot. We've run several laps without any rain at all. Very dry track now. Those pressures are going to be screaming super high. Almost like ice gates out on this track. Insane that they're able to still get the space out.
Oh, unbelievable. I have to say Dudley though, very, very interesting what's going to happen there. And the same here with Christie and Massey. Doc Smith classic. I'm assuming that was over the incident.
Oh, of course, classic Stacy. Very, very tunnel vision.
Oh.
Although I can say I am a culprit of the tunnel vision myself. It's very, very hard to get over sometimes.
Oh, 100%. But no, I'm very aware of my space when someone's side-by-side racing. The only thing I had to learn with this game was the braking. I was braking way later than others, and that was causing me some issues, but I've kind of learned a bit of that now, so that's luckily something I can say. And I've had the pleasure also scare of racing Stacey around Nuremberg and having to really be creative of how to get by without being rammed off.
Oh, I'm sure that.
Look, Stacey is improving. I think the spatial awareness thing is probably the only major thing I think stopping him going forward. Because if he was able to decide himself, right, I'm not going to fight this lad, he's all over the back of me, I'll go on my race, he'll lose less time doing that than defending like a champ.
Then he can also use me and this person are in the same car. Let's learn their line. Let's use them to tow me along. You know, not fight that position.
No, just sometimes it is good to let someone go, and as you say, learn their line and get some new tricks. That's what I always do. I always look at the other drivers and see how they take a line and see where they're gaining time on me. And I tell you one thing, Dudley is looking to get involved here big time.
Very, very close. See if he can get a better run coming up to that. We've turn 3 braking zone.
I think he's definitely the fastest driver on track at present with these tyres. If he got by Hamling there, I reckon he'd pull quite a bit away.
Absolutely, but that is the trouble. These split one drivers that very, very fast drivers, they know how to place the car just perfectly, still getting really good racing lines and not compromising themselves.
100%. And look at this one, Massey and Christie, 0.2 of a second in here. Two very different cars.
I'll be interested to see how this further develops going further into sector 2. Coming through a few slow corners, and then as we come right back up the hill, that McLaren should have, or sorry, that is an Aston. I thought that was a Porsche of Mr. Neil Massey.
Dave Campbell's gone into the pit, so Dave Campbell's going for a set of fresh dries by the looks of it now, which could play dividends because it's still 15 minutes to go.
Absolutely. I almost feel like it's a little bit late to finally decide to take the dry tires, but honestly, never better late than never.
Well, looking where he is, he's only going to lose the Ferrara here realistically. He's going to get out ahead of Alex Tedesco. I would assume he's in the pits quite a while now. So he's only losing 2 positions, but then again, if the dry tyres are going to be a few seconds a lap quicker, you know, he'll probably get back his own times a bit quicker, or his own places a bit quicker, and possibly another 1 or 2. As the longer this goes on, the more these tyres... Oh, as that's Glenn off. What happened, Glenn? Let's go back. So Glenn looks like behind Alex. Glenn runs wide. Oh, he gets it on the grass and just loses it. Oh no, and that's huge damage on the front of that. Oh, I'm a fanboy of Glenn, so I'm totally saddened for him for that. He's just trying to get that car home now, and at the minute I'd say it's an absolute dog to drive. He might just give up on that one.
Absolutely.
Oh, Glenn, I'm feeling for
very
you big
sad
time.
to see.
Feeling so much for him because he's such a good fucking dude. But here we are on with the Dudmeister. Wow, Daz, that was a lean move. Wow. Wow. I'm not saying anything. So Dudley, both of them going on to the opposite side of the track to try and get some sort of a cool down.
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely see that they're both adapting to try to get those cool tires throughout the track in different sectors.
Yeah.
But as one gets those cooler, more grippy tires, the other one is cooling their own off, and it's just trading back and forth, not giving Dudley that opportunity to, surge ahead and get that gap built up.
So Dave Campbell is about 26 seconds off Ferrara, so I'm going to be interested to see can he pull any of that time back. So Norton Filipov. So North is actually climbing up quite a bit in that McLaren as well. Fair play to him. I'll look at Gary as well. So realistically, the biggest winner in this race so far has been Franklin, up 6 positions, up into 8th place.
Absolutely. And I'd almost say it's getting to the point where it'll be too late for these drivers to decide to go to switch to those wets. 12 minutes remaining.
Oh, I know, it's way too late for them now. They're going to lose over 30 seconds.
Very late. The only chance that you would have is if you do have that 30-second gap built up to the next man, like Stacey Ellis or maybe even Paul Ferreira. They have that opportunity. There's a big enough gap ahead of them and a big enough gap behind them that they could take those dry tires if they are starting to struggle on those wet tires. They're very, very overheating. I saw it a couple laps ago with Christine as he was coming over that right-hander coming down to the short chute. Very, very wide. That back end of that McLaren was just swinging way out, hanging on for dear life is what it looked like.
The only thing is, though, I still think now it's way too late. Like, in fairness, if Tedder's probably the only one who mightn't lose any time. Actually, no, sorry, I do apologise on my own while saying that, because I just have to do the maths. Like, no matter what, you need about a minute there because it's 30 seconds alone to change tyres. Then you're talking about the drive in and out of the pits. So you're really talking about a minute of a pit stop. So no one has that time to give. And realistically, getting it back now, like at the minute, they have just kind of put themselves in a position that this is it.
Well, thankfully, these drivers don't have to worry about the sun heating up the track. I mean, if you're looking at the lap counter down in the bottom left, the track temperature has actually cooled off as this race has progressed. Drop from may just be 1 degree, but that 1 degree can mean the difference between making a corner and having the grip stick and sliding off.
It's true as well. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting finish to the race. What can Dudley do is the question. What can Mr. Dudley do, if anything at all? But so far, it's not looking like he can do much.
Almost appears as though he's backed off a little bit, dropped from half a second down to now almost a second.
Yeah,
trying
possibly.
to maybe cool off those tires, may have gotten caught in traffic. There's so many different factors that could have happened while we were watching other drivers.
Oh, look, Gary here. Gary's just trying to get a few places up now. He's up with Alex now. Just looking there. It's so frustrating that the game is doing that jumps as well. But Dudley here, yeah, so he's gone a second off Hamling now. You just wonder, is it a case that he's kind of settled on the second place?
Yeah, it could be that, or it could just be he's saving those tires, trying to maybe save one last charge to go here in the next lap or two. You know, get that push, get that gap. Oh, as we have a spinner entering the garage, that was I believe the 415.
We're after losing a few more drivers now, so Glenn is now gone. Andrew Gatton is left in it. So Glenn Jurgles. Although there's a few more that look like they're out of the race.
Or I apologize, I believe that was the 215.
Oh, Taylor.
Could not say. I do not remember who that was. It was a Honda, I can tell you that much.
A Honda.
Very close battle between these three. Good job getting that power down. He's going to have a run on this Porky.
Absolutely. Can he get the job done?
Or, sorry, Aston. That's the second time I've called an Aston a Porsche.
Come here, it's grand.
Headlights are confusing me.
You're grand. You're grand. You're only young. You're only young.
Yeah. I've been racing the Porsche too much. I'm so used to their headlights.
But the Honda has got through quite nicely, and he gets a great drive out. On now Richard Christie. Gary Smith, enough for one night. Gary, I don't blame you. And this server's wrecking my head, Gary. This game, the whole way through, it keeps jumping, and it's not my stream, so I've checked everything. The game just likes to do this weird jumping thing. And it's happened on one or two other servers. I don't know, is it the server itself that's a little bit glitchy, or what? What's it like when you're driving? Obviously, it can't be that bad because you won't be able to race in it. So Tedder and North just after swapping positions there as well. Let's get back to Tedder. Does a classic move up the inside. North gives the room. That's how driving should be done.
Very good. Now we'll see if he catch up to Filipov.
Well, he gets by Filipov just as we're coming off this. We're going to see that. He's got by Filipov there.
Absolutely. Likely did it up at the top of the hill and down to the braking zone.
And Richard Christie as well is coming on.
Very, very nice to see, even though through the struggles of having wet tires on the drive for nearly half an hour now, these drivers are still so close.
Yeah, it's unreal to think that with 5 minutes to go that it's still this close, kind of defending and racing with these guys. And the pit lane cut off should be in the next 7 or 8 seconds. You're going to hear that. Pit lane cut off coming in. There we go.
There it is.
So Alex North with Filipov, Christie and Massey. Liam has sent me a clip that I do want to watch. I'm just gonna.
Gary got sent by an Aston.
I'll watch that after. Server was fine, just not enough. Just enough of it. Race ruined by some Aston sending it into the S's. Total disregard for shit driving. Oh, did we see that one with Gary with the Aston sending it into the S's?
I don't believe that we did.
Gary, send me a link as well. I'm going to have a look. And I won't do that, Liam, don't worry. Was lap 1 after my first pit stop. Interesting, I didn't know something happened there, but you ended up 2 laps. Oh, I remember that. Maybe I did see that. There's been so much happening here with this. So we're coming now into the last 4 minutes of this one. Richard Christie.
Does appear that Dudley has settled for that second position, dropped back nearly 2 seconds now.
I'd say all the tires are starting to scream now at this stage.
Absolutely. Like I said, nearly 30 minutes on wet tires in the dry. I don't know how these guys do it. Absolutely amazing driving.
Well, I did see, Gary, you got took out down the straight when it was 3 wide as well. That was definitely you that I'm thinking of coming down the main straight there, wasn't it? I'm pretty sure that was Gary, and we find out now with that other incident that I thought Gary just got cleaned out of it, that we got on camera. Christie, not a bother. Tedder now looking to try get by Tater. Tedder's using every bit of the track, literally.
Very, very right.
He's really trying.
I'll be looking forward to see that one in his next track guide.
Yeah, and this is the way to get by. Hello,
Very,
oh,
very
Christie
nice run.
runs very wide. Oh no, that's Stacy in the back, sorry.
Header, great run up the hill, deep on the brakes.
Oh, he's going to have it here, isn't he?
Hold it right around the outside. Question is, can he get the power down and beat the other Honda?
Taylor's
very
slightly
even.
ahead. Taylor's getting there, though. They're going to be side by side. Oh, that's so close, but that's great driving from two guys who are able to
Inside
trust
line,
it.
he's gonna have it.
That's how you race side by side. That is
Great
how
move.
you do it. Great driving from both of them there, and I have massive respect for Taylor there with that as well. He gave Taylor just enough room as well. That's how racing should be done. One with Alex Norton now, who's looking to catch up with Filipov, Christie and Massey also happening. Oh, Gary.
Absolutely, no.
I don't think it was Gary that got hit that time that we thought was Gary.
Maybe not. There was so many incidents on lap 1. That was honestly.
Yeah. It's been quite an interesting week for incidents. We're very interesting here. We're down into the last 1 and a bit minutes, and we're on the final lap now. So Dudley's settled for where he is, but who hasn't settled? Tedder is actually looking at Franklin here now. So Tedder's obviously on dry tyres. Oh no!
Very
Himself
wide.
and
Tether
Franklin.
collected again.
So Franklin ran a little bit wide, not noticing Tedder. Maybe that's down to tyres though as well, because Franklin is not an amateur driver. It certainly wouldn't have been something on purpose. Yeah, you can see Franklin struggling with grip even through there. I think Franklin's tyres are fucked. He's on the wet
Absolutely.
tyres there, so as annoying as that would be for Tedder, I think Tedder will understand there with the gap. Just Franklin had no grip.
And I'm sure Taylor will need a new set of trousers after that one. Just seeing two cars come wide, not sure where they're going to be spinning to.
But sure, look, Tedder is still on the up and up, 2.5 seconds off now. Might not get it done, but Dudley's putting in a last minute attack. He's down to 0.8 of a second.
Absolutely. I mean, this is the attack that I was talking about, diving way deep into the brakes, top of sector 2. He's got to get some really, really good runs coming down sector 3. Might have it just barely into the final corner, but it looks like he's just too far back.
Yeah, I think this is one of those things. He'll be glad to race the race he's done, but that's quite tough. But it's a great show for Lamborghinis tonight, though. Like 2 Lambos, 1 and 2.
Amazing show. Almost makes you wonder if he had launched the attack 1 lap earlier, if he could have gotten there, because that was what, 2 seconds, 2.5 seconds, and he's dropped it down to half a second.
100%.
Great
But that
race.
was
Great race by
Hamling,
Hamling.
2 for 2. 2 races, 2 wins. Dudley, an amazing second position, and Ross Webster up in 3rd position. Ross Webster, a man who knows how to win as well. Delighted for him. Massey coming up in 4th position. Great result for him there in the Aston Martin. With Richard Christie then in 5th position. Wee Matty Gamble is in 6th position. Then you've got Taylor in 7th. Tedder coming home in 8th place. Franklin will be 9th. Herrera 10th. Alex possibly 11th. Still fighting with Filipov.
Half a second. Yeah, half a second back, and they're only in sector 2, so they've still got plenty of time. A lot closer than Dudley was to Hamling coming up in here.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see if Filipov can get those Aston's legs stretched coming back down the hill and onto that front stretch. Looking for a move up to the outside here. Might try the switchback.
Great defending from North, but it might have compromised his exit a little bit. But then again, it's not a massive amount of a stray.
Absolutely, and here we'll see the run that Aston gets down the hill, looking really, really far back.
Yeah, he's too far back
Have to
here
see
now.
what he takes.
He takes a much wider approach.
Trying to carry more speed, carries just a little bit too much, runs a lot wider than that Macca.
I think the Macca from here should have it. Great defending.
Gets a better exit. Does appear though that the Macca will beat out that Aston. Very, very close racing. Great job coming to the line.
That was great driving from all the guys there. And my boy Dave Campbell, Alex, Tetley, Kuhan, Gatton. An amazing race. Full of action. Absolutely full of action there tonight. I may put on my little ring light. But yeah, phenomenal race. I'm very, very impressed with the way the guys were able to pull those softs all the way to the end as well, because I definitely was not expecting that at all from them. For yourself, who is your driver of the day from what you've seen?
Honestly, I have to hand it to Hamling, being able to hold those wet tires on for so long, even after they, you know, that 30 minutes in the dry. That is a very, very challenging thing to do.
I absolutely agree with that as well. It's not the easiest thing to do at all, to be fair about it. But for me, yeah, I think Hamlin gets it because he had that 15 seconds of section penalty and still got it home. That's unreal. Unreal, like, let's be fair about that. And I want to give a good mention as well there for Dudley.
Absolutely.
Dudley done unreal. Absolutely unreal. There's no other way of saying that. But yeah, it was quite interesting. We're jumping over now. Are you in the Amigo server?
I am not.
I'll get you into that if you ever want to do comms in future. I'm going to jump in and just do an interview with the drivers, mate. And thank you so much for jumping in and joining on. And keep an eye for this young man in the future with commentary. He's going to be doing a little bit soon enough and getting more and more into it. And we'll give him all the support as well. So what I want you to do as well, actually, when you have a minute, I want you to send me over your logo, and I'm going to be happily advertising your logo on social as well. So it's real-time gaming. And yeah, you send me on your logo and send me on your socials. I'll start advertising you as well. So I want you to get the good following behind you for doing your commentary as well.
Well, thank you for having me on. It was definitely a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, thanks very much.
To join you.
It's an absolute pleasure having you there. And as I say, please send me on your socials as well then as your logo, and I'm more than happy to advertise you as well, mate.
Much appreciated. Enjoy those interviews, sir.
No problem at all. Thank you so much, brother, and I'll talk to you very, very soon. Fair play to him. Not easy jumping into a racing league that you may not know everyone in it, so I'm going to jump in here now. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. You're live in the Big Brother house. Please, a lot of swearing. Where the fuck do I start? Oh, do I have the race winner in here? Do I?
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately. That's very, very mean. So I'm not going to be able to pronounce your first name. How was the race for you, Mr. Winner?
Pretty nice, given all my opponents keep taking themselves out. So
it does help, does it?
yeah, that's helped quite a bit.
I didn't see any incidents tonight. It was a super clean race.
What were you watching?
I was watching lesbian porn with Liam.
As long as there was no cops involved.
Did you say leprechaun porn or?
Come here, just don't mention potatoes. If you take the potatoes into it, you know, we'll have a falling out. Right, I'm going to absolutely muddy your name. How was that race for you?
Just call me Hamling. Just call me Hamling.
Hamburger. How was that race for you?
Good.
Do you want to talk us through? Because you had that 15-second succession penalty coming into it.
No.
So you don't want to talk about it? No, that's fine. You're a fucking great crack anyway. I might as well talk to the wall here. So, Wall, how was that race for you? Shows grand, yeah? Nice one. And watching Dudley near the end. Sure, Dudley, you know what I mean? He was catching out me, but sure, you know yourself, Horsebox, sure. I just said I'd make sure I was ahead with the finishing line. Sure, that's great, Hamburger. Thanks very much for that interview. You were great.
Go large next time.
No offense, but that was the worst interview ever. We'll try it
I did my
again.
best.
What are
I
you,
did my best.
what are you planning for next week? Because that's 2 in a row. Do you reckon you can make it 3 in a row?
No, because I'm missing next week.
Oh, thank God.
Are you going to Stacey Addis's dungeon?
Sorry?
Are you going to visit Stacey Addis for a day or two?
No.
I'm just checking. We might have to get a search party if that's the case. I don't go too bad on him. Mr. Dudley, well done. That was a great drive from you, brother, honestly. In second place, you done a fucking cracker of a race. How was it for you?
Yeah, the difference is that Hamling was taking it easy most of the race, and I was absolutely sweating my balls off trying to keep up with him. But it was no, it was good. It was good.
Yeah, no, I think it was great to see 2 Lamborghinis really dominating the field tonight. How was it near the end, though? Were you on the wet tyres still? I'm assuming you are all on wet tyres coming to the end, other than the few who pitted.
Yeah, we were doing a sort of top trumps as to who had the hottest tyres. So I think I may have picked everyone 147 degrees on the rears.
Fuck.
So,
You by a degree. You by a
pretty
degree.
close. Oh yeah, so crack an egg on them. They were pretty warm.
Jesus, that sounds horrendous. But honestly, I honestly thought you were going to get him at one stage, though. You were catching in, but it looked like you were letting the tyres cool off to maybe do an attack near the end.
Yeah, no, we were talking about doing a Ford's GT finish at the end and going over nose to nose, but Hamlin doesn't trust me.
Well, I don't fucking blame him.
I wouldn't trust me either.
That'd be very, very, very funny. Now, let me see. But honestly, great race. How are you looking forward to the 10-second succession penalty next week?
Just pleased to get one.
It's like a little badge of honor, isn't it?
It's been a while. Yeah.
No, I was fucking. That was great. And Mr. Ross Webster in 3rd place. That was great for you, mate.
It was a bit of a poor start, but yeah, it is what it is. What could have been good recovery though.
It was a
Kinda
great
needed the
recovery.
I needed the rain to kind of cool the tires down, and I was catching near the end, but it wasn't enough.
Yeah, but still, I think you had a great race all in all. You know, it was a tough one, but it was good.
It was good fun.
To be
Had a good fight with, was it Gamble coming back through after the pits, and someone else in McLaren. Yeah, that was good.
But you not ever have the fear of Gamble just taking it out. He likes to do that to people.
What?
Oh, okay.
Sure, it's no part of me stream. Every video I do, who will Matt Gamble take out now? I've added Tether into it after last week, though.
He deserves it, yeah.
He definitely deserves it, to be fair about it. To be fair. Now, who else is in here? Jack Taylor, how was it for you?
It wasn't great, if I'm being honest. I was hoping for the rain in the qualifying session because my drive pace was a bit shit. But yeah, I had a good battle along the way. It was quite nice because I pitted for dries as well, and most people were on wet, so I tried to come through the pack.
I'd say it was lovely for you near the end of it then, yeah. It wouldn't have been too bad.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Chris got taken out, I think, but that's another position for me, so.
Yeah, to be honest, I when I looked at that one with Chris, I think it was Chris and Franklin near the end. I just think it was just a matter of Franklin's tyres were gone. It was just unlucky. That's, to be honest with you, for me, that was probably just an unlucky incident. Other than that, though, I think he had a great race as well. I'm going to jump across to Franklin as I've just mentioned him, though. How tough was that for you near the end? Because that Ferrari looked like an absolute handful.
Yeah, it was, and like most others have said, we all really needed the rain to come.
Yeah.
Because it was just a real struggle, and the thing with Chris, my tyres were fine right up until the start of that lap, and they just absolutely went off a cliff. And I don't think I quite realised it at the time, but he had sort of gone to go around my outside, and I just completely washed out of the corner and bumped him.
No, that's exactly what he's saying as well. It does look like the front end ran wide as he was going around. And to me, a shitty incident, but it's unfortunate. But, it is what it is. It wasn't as if he done it on purpose.
No, indeed.
But
The middle of the race was great for me because in
Hmm.
the sort of wet and the mixed conditions, I was really, really quick, which I had to be because of, I was coming from pretty much stone dead last after a few bumps and my own crash early in the race. So yeah, I enjoyed the middle of it, but like everyone else, just praying for rain at the end, which never came.
yeah, well, to be honest with you, I'm glad it didn't come because it made the racing obviously look absolutely so tough compared. So for me, it was great to see that he's all struggling. I'm not going to lie. It was so good. But Mr. Skins, we'll call you Nigel Massey just to get your name wrong as well. I might as well. How is it for you, mate? And in the Aston, how are you finding the Aston compared to the Honda?
It doesn't seem as fast off the straight, and I don't think it is. It seems a bit sluggish.
Definitely not.
But I had a good setup on tonight, very stable. I can race with Mr. Gamble and Mr. Christie. I didn't know which way it was going to go. But I'm happy for the winner, P4. So.
Well, P4 is a great result, especially as you're still transitioning across from the Honda as well. Speaking, how terrified were you of Gamble taking you out, or just giving you that little nudge that Gamble likes to do with drivers?
I think he had an incident at T1 where he overshot it or it lost grip or whatever. I was fortunate, but then later on I lost grip as well. I had no front end, and Richard was catching me. I was like, oh, I was going to lose it here, but I managed to hold it. So yeah, I'm pleased. I'm pleased with that.
Yeah, no, it was great stuff. And then Richard as well, you had a great race. You were involved in so many battles, and I'd say there was probably a nappy full of poo when you were racing Matthew Gamble, because we all know how Matthew Gamble loves to take drivers out of it.
It was decent. To be fair, I understand why no one really wants to race these Monday nights. So I'm not sure if I'm coming back. But the worst part is Gamble's just in my ear for the last 3 laps, just hoping I crash into Matty. That's all he's saying is, goes, go on, just give him a little nudge, go on.
Jeepers!
No, it was good, and I was praying it didn't rain because I was awful in the way I was going backwards.
Yeah. No, I'd say you did honestly a great race. I think you got a good bit of the airtime as well tonight. You had some great action as well. And you win the award for trusting Matthew Gamble in the race, because you're the only one on that track that trusts Matthew Gamble side by side.
No, it's fine. After Sunday, we're good. We're good.
Yeah.
I think he's forgiven me.
That's good. And I'll just go back to Matthew. So Matthew, next week, on what lap are you going to take someone out, just so I can note it down?
15.
We've got bets on, have we?
Yeah, do you know what? I might start doing an odds for this every week. When I make this all about Matthew, just have a little board in the channel.
Is it worth HorseBox having a compilation at the beginning of one of your videos of just Gamble crashes?
I was thinking about that, because I have a few from last season that I'm thinking about doing a little, just a random kind of video before the race starting to see Matthew crashing about 10 times.
Do you know how many he'd actually have? 2. That's how many he'd have.
Come here, man. I have at least 20 of you crashing.
But not 2 of them are into other people.
No, I can just do the replay of just you taking out tether, reel it over and over and over.
At least have 2 for
that. Great memories. But yeah, guys, very, very tough race for you, but in fairness, he's all got through it and he's made it out the other side. Hamburger gets another win there, and he comes back next week to do his best. So, right, Hamburger, honestly, next week, or not next week, the week after when you're back, what are you expecting? Are you expected to get 3 wins out of 4?
What's the track?
Misano.
Yeah, Misano.
After Misano,
what's Misano next week?
Fuck, what is it after Misano? Give me 1 second. I should remember this shit, but I don't.
Hungaro, no chance. It's not happening.
Okay, so I'm going to offer you a very, very unique opportunity here. If you want to get some lessons from HorseBox Streams, it's only $99.99 per half an hour, and you'll definitely learn something from it. Don't know what it is, but you'll learn. Would you like in?
No thanks.
Are you sure? I'll even give you a Matthew gamble lesson as well.
I think that just made the offer worse. So
No, I'm sorry. If you can take someone out and still get the race win and no penalty for it, Matthew Gamble's a genius. Trust me. You need to get in with Matty Gamble. It's that easy.
Damage neither. It's class.
Yeah, you actually got no damage. I won that race. So handy. But lads, instead of me talking absolute shit, I'm going to stop this stream. So thanks everyone for joining along. You have been absolutely fantabulous. And we'll see you again this day next week for Matty to take somebody else out of it. So it's been a pleasure, guys, and have a lovely evening.
Cheers.
Bye.
Cheers.